Hey everyone, welcome to another video in my Learning to Draw video series. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do 2-point perspective boxes. This is a great way to start learning how to do 2-point perspective. So if you can, when you start to get going with this, I would advise that you try to fit around 20 to 25 boxes on your page. If you want, you can get kind of creative and try to figure out how to maybe do a staircase, or if you're kind of a Minecraft person, maybe try to figure out how to do Minecraft objects. But at first, I would suggest just doing boxes. Okay, so let's get started with this. I'm doing this on a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but you might want to use an 11 by 14 sheet, as that'll give you a little bit more room to do more boxes. All right, so we have our paper. You're going to need a ruler, and I would highly advise that you grab a triangle. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is grab the center of our paper. So to do that, I'm going to connect our two corners of the paper first with my ruler, and I'll draw a light line in the middle, and I'll just make a little bit of an X. So try to keep that more towards the middle. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's connect the bottom left corner and the right corner. And where those two intersect, that is the center of the paper. All right, now what we want to do is have a perfect line going straight across. If you don't have a triangle, go ahead, put your ruler in the middle, and then just try to see if your ruler is going a little crooked. So try to make that as level as possible. But if you have a triangle, go ahead, take your ruler, put it to the side of the paper, and make sure that it's touching the edge of the paper. Once you do that, grab your triangle, make sure your triangle is touching the ruler, and we want that triangle to be touching the bottom of our point there. So once we do that, we'll just draw a line going all the way across, and we'll finish that. My triangle wasn't long enough, so let me go ahead and just finish that here. Okay, the next step is to mark your vanishing point. So this is a 2-point perspective drawing, so we'll put an X here and an X here. All right. I'll just mark this as VP on mine, but you don't have to do that on your drawing. All right, to do any of your boxes, the first step is to draw a line. Now, in the previous video where we made 1-point perspective boxes, I had you guys draw a box or a rectangle. We're not going to start that this way. Instead, what we're going to do is just draw a single line. Now, if you don't have a triangle, just simply take your ruler and try to make sure that the bottom of the ruler is touching the paper so that you don't have the ruler lifting off the edge. Okay, that'll give you a very close 90-degree angle. Okay, and then just use your eyes and just use your best judgment. But if you use a triangle, we're just going to take the bottom of our paper, make sure that the bottom of the paper is touching the triangle. Sorry, the bottom of the paper is touching the ruler. I keep flipping them, so sorry if I flip that during the video. All right, so now we'll take our triangle and we're going to start with the box on the left side. So go ahead and pick a spot. So I'm going to stop here, and you can just pick any size line that you want. I would probably, for your first one, not go all the way over and cross this line. We'll save that for later. All right, so I drew a line there. Okay, now what we want to do is connect this line to both of the vanishing points. So let's start with the right side. So let's align our ruler with the bottom of this line and the vanishing point. So let's do that. We'll draw a straight line across. We'll do the same thing here. And we'll do it to this side as well. Now, if you need to tilt your paper, go ahead and do that. connecting my vanishing point to both the top and the bottom of my line. Okay, so we've set one side of the box and the other side of the box, but we need to decide how long we want our box to be. So if you have your ruler without a triangle, you can go ahead and try to just make sure that your ruler is not crooked as you slide it across. But if you got your triangle, just keep doing what we've been doing. We're going to align it to the bottom of the paper. Take your triangle, and then go ahead and slide it across. So you get to decide how far your rectangular box is going to be. It's really up to you. So let's go ahead and just make what looks like almost a cube. Maybe I've made it just a little bit bigger. So I'm connecting the bottom to the top. Okay, now once you've done this, we're going to take this top part and connect it to this vanishing point. So we'll do that with our ruler. Okay, so now we finished this side. We have the top. Now we have to decide how far back our other side is going to go. So let's continue using our ruler on the bottom. Take our triangle. There may be some of you out there that maybe would like to have this paper taped down to your table, and what you could do instead is use a T-square. But I'm just using a triangle and a ruler, just so that I don't know if everyone out there has a T-square, but maybe I'll do a video just showing how to use a T-square with some things. But anyway, we're just going to keep going with this. All right, so I've drawn this line. Now we're going to connect the top part of this over to our vanishing point. Okay, so we finished our box. Now these lines that are over here that are extra, these need to be erased, but we'll do that later. All right, so let's do another box. This time we're going to do a box up in this area here. So when we start our box, the first thing that we do is a vertical line. Okay, so let's do that by taking our ruler, putting it up against the top, take your triangle, move it over, and draw a line. All right, so we're going to continue doing what we've done before. We need to connect the bottom and the top of this line over to the vanishing point on this side and over to the vanishing point on this side. I think I moved a little bit on that last one. Try to keep a firm grip on your ruler so that it doesn't wobble on you. I kind of like not taping my paper down, only because I like to be able to move it around with my hands. But it's up to you. If you want to tape yours down, that's okay as well. So let's draw a line connecting the top of our box and the bottom to the vanishing point. All right, so we've done that. Let's figure out how long our rectangle is going to be. And as a good rule of thumb, just remember, anytime you have a vertical line, that vertical line should always be at a 90-degree angle with the bottom of your paper. All right, so just remember, vertical lines need to be vertical. All right, so I've Draw another line here. And go ahead and take this point and connect it to this vanishing point. All right, so now we need to figure out how long this box is. So we need another line. Take your ruler, put it here, grab your triangle, slide it across and figure out how far your box is. All right, we've got one more line left to go. And we'll connect this over here. This last step is usually the one that confuses people. So just try to remember it when you do your box. Okay. Oh, actually, I forgot to connect it all the way across, but you get the point. But I'm actually glad that I did this because you can see that if you don't want to draw a line straight across, I'm going to go ahead and do it just so you can visually see it connect. But this'll, if you just draw it here, it'll you won't have to erase it later. But we're doing this just so you can visually see where everything connects to. Okay, so let's actually do one right here on the side, but I want it to overlap my horizon line. Let me go ahead and just make this horizon line just a little darker so you can see it. All right, so I mentioned this in another video that the horizon line is where the sky and the ground meet. So just imagine that everything up here would be a blue sky, and down here is all your earth, all your ground. Okay, so let's do one more box here, and let's put the box right in the middle. So I'm using my ruler. Let's go ahead and use the triangle. Make sure it's perfectly straight up and down. So I'm using my ruler to connect up here at the top of my paper. Grab your triangle. Make sure it aligns with the center of, well, I'm doing it in the center here. You can move it anywhere you want on yours. So I've got that. Let's go ahead. Maybe it's a little confusing to have all these lines. Let me just erase a few of them around this line. You'll notice that these lines are still kind of there because I've been pressing down a little bit just so you could see it on camera. But as I said earlier, try to keep your lines on the lighter side so when you erase these, you really won't see your full lines when you're done. All right, so I'm not going to go too crazy here. I know that I won't get this all off. And I appreciate you taking your time watching me do this. I've mentioned this in other videos that if at any point during my process you feel like I'm going too slow, I'll just change the speed of the video or just drag your slider and get it to a point where you see that I'm ready to go. Okay, so I made my center line. Now this box is going to be the easiest one because we have less lines to do. So let's go ahead and connect the bottom of this to the vanishing point. Top. Do the same thing on this side. And over here. Now we just need to end our box on the left and the right. So to do that, we need a vertical line. those vertical lines have to be straight up and down, so make sure you're doing that, okay? It might be quick and easy just to quickly put a line, but that's what makes things look kind of off in your pictures. So taking this extra time to do this is really going to pay off in the end when you have a lot of boxes. So the more boxes you have, if the lines start to change direction, they start to get a little bit on the diagonal, then your picture's going to look a bit off. So we want everything to look nice and sharp and even. So I'm drawing my right side. All right, so hopefully you can see that this is another box. So anytime you have a box that is going over the horizon line, this is what you're going to do. We are not going to see the top of the box or the bottom of the box. Okay, that's actually going to be invisible to us. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. Hopefully you guys get this. I'll probably do a follow-up video to this, maybe show a little bit more detail. I might do a shadow video with this like I did with my other one. Okay, why don't you guys get started with yours, and hopefully I brought you some value today. And remember, just enjoy your drawing. All right, have a good day.